Hello and a very good evening. You're watching the news at 6 on Rajya Sabha television with me, Frank Pereira. Here are the headlines. Tamil Nadu Governor apprises Home Minister Rajnath Singh about the political crisis in the state. AIADMK rebel MLAs move Madras High Court, challenging the Speaker's order disqualifying them. On the 100th birth anniversary of noted singer M.S. Subbulakshmi, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu emphasizes the need to protect cultural values, reminds nation that the entire world looked up to Indian culture. Myanmar State Councillor Aung San Suu Kyi delivers State of the Union address, defends her government's handling of the Rakhine crisis, says that Myanmar is ready to take back Rohingya Muslims who have fled. And Hurricane Maria rips through the mountainous Caribbean island nation of Dominica. Its government says the island has lost everything. Storm also causes devastation in the French island of Guadeloupe. Well, India, USA and Japan have decided to increase cooperation against aggressive posturing of China in the Asia-Pacific region. The three countries made their opinion clear against the way OBOR was developed and also said that Beijing's designs behind North Korea must be exposed. Opinions of the three major democracies were expressed just before the commencement of the UNGA in New York in the joint meeting of the foreign ministers. Here's a report.
External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj, US Secretary of State Rex Tillerson and Foreign Minister of Japan Kono Taro meeting ahead of the United Nations General Assembly. It was a much awaited and watched meeting of the three major democracies, and serious questions were raised and made public about China-led One Belt, One Road initiative. All three leaders said that the OBOR project is not only violating sovereignty of countries of the region, but also putting unviable financial pressure on the target countries.
On connectivity, there was discussion on how to base them on universally recognized international norms, prudent financing and respect for sovereignty and territorial integrity.
The Indian, American and Japanese foreign ministers also discussed the situation emanating out of North Korea's missile adventures. Sushma Swaraj specifically asked for a thorough investigation into proliferation activities of Pyongyang and demanded to fix accountability on the involved countries.
EM deplored DPRK's recent actions and stated that its proliferation linkages must be explored and those involved must be held accountable.
The three foreign ministers also reviewed the situation in South China Sea. They insisted that China must obey the rules of sea and international norms. This is a clear message for China that a new coalition is developing in Asia to counter its hegemonistic tendencies.
We really want to exert our pressure democratically on this issue because we three are really interested in shaping the new architecture, security architecture that is coming up in the East Asian region. Therefore, we believe that whatever be the new regional order there in the Asia-Pacific region, it should be democratic, it should be open, it should be transparent, and it should be driven by law.
This is second trilateral meeting of India, Japan and US foreign ministers after 2015. They have directed their respective officials to make a roadmap for further cooperation on these issues. Akhilesh Suman's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, let's now get you the latest in the Tamil Nadu politics saga. AIADMK leader TTV Dinakaran on Tuesday led 18 rebel MLAs to move the Madras High Court and blamed the centre for the political crisis in the state. While the governor met the Home Minister over the issue, DMK MLAs held a meeting chaired by the party's working president MK Stalin to decide their future course of action. Here's more.
The 18 rebel MLAs of the AIADMK on Tuesday moved the Madras High Court against their disqualification from the Tamil Nadu Assembly. Calling their disqualification invalid, the MLAs said they had neither voted against the government nor had they resigned from the party.
Meeting போட்டுருக்காங்க அதுல இவங்க டிசிஷன் எடுத்தது செல்லாது ஏன்னு சொன்னா இந்த டிஸ்பியூட் அண்டர் இது இப்ப இதுல எலெக்ஷன் கமிஷன்ல இருக்கு சோ இவங்க டிசிஷன் செல்ஃப் டிசிஷன் எடுத்தது செல்லாது.
Rebel AIADMK leader TTV Dinakaran blamed the centre for creating the current political crisis in the state. He also charged Chief Minister E. Palaniswamy and Deputy Chief Minister O. Paneerselvam with betrayal.
We already have filed in a petition before the Honorable High Court. We will get it stayed. because legally we are very sound. So we will get justice from the court. Not only DMK, every party in the democratic system, it is a murder in the democratic system. So everybody will oppose it because everybody will face the problem in the future.
Tamil Nadu Assembly history. This is the first time happening. They have killed the democracy. See, Honorable Speaker and Whip can have an action when if the MLAs voted against the government in Assembly or they walked out without voting in the Assembly. See, Mr. OPS faction, 12 MLAs has voted in the Assembly against this government. Till this minute, they have not taken action at all. Actually, they must be disqualified. They are not ADMK MLAs at all because they voted against ADMK government.
Tamil Nadu Governor C. Vidyasagar Rao apprised Home Minister Rajnath Singh about the ongoing political crisis in the state. The disqualified MLAs have told the Governor that they had no confidence in Tamil Nadu Chief Minister E. Palaniswamy. Opposition parties led by the DMK, meanwhile, are seeking a floor test soon in the Assembly. The DMK says that if the Governor fails to convene the Assembly within a week, they will move court to seek the vote of confidence. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, in other news now, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has stressed on the need to protect cultural values. Addressing a gathering on the 100th birth anniversary of music legend M.S. Subbulakshmi, the Vice President said that the entire world looked up to Indian culture and we must continue to promote it.
An exhibition celebrating the extraordinary life of Bharat Ratna M.S. Subbulakshmi at the Indira Gandhi National Centre for the Arts. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu inaugurated this exhibition. Praising the late singer, Vice President Naidu said M.S. Subbulakshmi was a cultural ambassador who took Carnatic music to the world.
This is our tradition, this is our culture, this is our past, and we must always feel proud of our past and heritage, and we must try to preserve it. The Indian culture, the Indian heritage, the Indian family system, the Indian value system is immensely popular across the globe.
The Vice President also released a coin commemorating the singer. Stressing on the need to uphold Indian values, the Vice President said, even though Indians follow a Western lifestyle, the West looked up to Indian culture.
That M.S. Subbulakshmi ji is well-known name not only in India but across the world. She was a cult figure who had mesmerized everyone from Mahatma Gandhi to the common man with her mellifluous voice.
M.S. Subbulakshmi was born on 16 September 1916 in Madurai. She performed in a concert at the United Nations in New York in 1966, becoming the first Indian to do so. Now Vikram Singh's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, the Rajya Sabha on Tuesday allowed JDU leader Sharad Yadav and Ali Anwar one more week to respond to the party's plea for their disqualification from the House. This comes after they sought a month's time to reply to the House's communication. The Rajya Sabha Secretariat had asked Sharad Yadav and Ali Anwar to respond within a week, which ended on Tuesday. The JDU leaders had sought more time to prepare their replies, stating they were preoccupied with political activities. Ali Anwar said that the decision should not be taken in haste and they should be given natural justice. He also demanded that the matter be referred to the Ethics Committee of the Upper House. But JDU General Secretary Sanjay Jha accused the rebel members of resorting to delaying tactics to avoid their disqualification as MPs for alleged anti-party activities. The party's Rajya Sabha members on August 12th had removed Yadav, who opposed the party's decision to ally with the BJP in Bihar. It had also suspended its Rajya Sabha member Ali Anwar Ansari from the parliamentary party for attending a meeting of opposition parties convened by the Congress President Sonia Gandhi. Well, 2 aides of Iqbal Kaskar have been arrested in connection with an extortion case. Kaskar, who is the brother of fugitive Don Dawood Ibrahim, was arrested on Monday. Kaskar and his associates had allegedly been threatening a prominent builder in Thane in Dawood's name since 2013 and extorted 30 lakhs and 4 flats from him. Mumtaz Sheikh and Israr Ali.
इसमें सामने कुछ बिल्डर्स के जो कि इनके विक्टिम्स थे और कुछ बिल्डर्स के जो कि इनकी मदद ले रहे थे अपना जमीन क्लियर कराने के लिए और कामों के लिए। कुछ पॉलिटिशियंस के नाम भी सामने आए हैं। जो विक्टिम्स हैं उनसे तो हमने अपील की है सामने आए, अपना गुनाह दाखिल करें ताकि हमारा केस और ज़्यादा स्ट्रांग हो और स्ट्रिंजेंट प्रोविजंस लगाए जा सकें। लेकिन जिन लोगों ने इनका मदद लिया जाए, गैंग की मदद की या गैंग की मदद ली, उनके विरुद्ध तो हम कड़क से कड़क कार्रवाई करेंगे। एविडेंस कलेक्ट करने का कार्य किया जा रहा है और उनको बिल्कुल स्पेयर नहीं किया जाएगा।
Well, 29 Indian cities and towns, including Delhi, and capitals of 9 states fall under severe to very severe seismic zones, thereby being extremely vulnerable to earthquakes. However, no time frame for the occurrence has been specified, leaving crores at risk.
India is vulnerable to catastrophic earthquakes. More than 58.6% of its landmass is prone to earthquakes of moderate to very high intensity. Many vulnerable cities are in the Himalayas, which is one of the most seismically active regions in the world. The most vulnerable cities include Delhi, Patna, Srinagar, Kohima, Puducherry, Guwahati, Gangtok, Shimla, Dehradun, Imphal and Chandigarh. This region is known to be seismically active because it lies at the junction of two tectonic plates, the Himalayan and the Eurasian plate. These plates under the earth are moving 40 to 55 meters every year, creating immense pressure and releasing seismic vibrations or earthquakes.
हम कहें जोशीमठ या इधर बटवारी, ये यहाँ तक जोन 4 में आता है और ऊपर हम उसके कहें तो वो पूरा जोन 5 में आता है। और जोन 5 सबसे हाईएस्ट जोन है जिसमें मतलब पूरे चांसेस हैं कि बड़ा भूकंप ट्रिगर हो सकता है।
To monitor seismic activity across the country, 31 new earthquake observatories will come up by next March. This is in addition to the 84 observatories that are already functioning. As part of the pilot project, 100 sensors will be installed in Uttarakhand, which will be connected to a central recording station at IIT Roorkee. These sensors will detect ground motion earthquake ruptures and estimate its strength either at the same location or some other locations. The sensors will provide New Delhi a lead time of 60 to 90 seconds in case a major quake occurs in the Himalayas.
The department is drilling inside the rocks. It has already drilled more than 4 kilometers and we have put sensors and there will be continuous recording, and it's a scientific way how we will be continuously having data about what is happening inside the earth, and then we'll sort of collate it with the happenings on the ground, so that maybe after a couple of years we actually know what is that which happens before an earthquake comes, so that for future you have, and this is something which is unique, which is happening probably not in many places all over the world.
The Indian subcontinent has seen some of the biggest earthquakes in the world. In 1991, Uttarkashi suffered one of the deadliest earthquakes that killed nearly 730 people and displaced over 3 lakh people. The earthquake that struck Latur in 1993 buried 52 villages, measuring 6.4 on the Richter scale. It killed over 10,000 people. Another earthquake that struck Bhuj on Republic Day in 2001 that had a magnitude of 7.7 killed about 20,000 people. Scientists have never predicted a major earthquake except the 1975 Haicheng earthquake, when changes in land elevation and groundwater levels alarmed the Chinese scientists. Earthquakes occur at depths that are 10 to 15 kilometers from the Earth's surface and are not easily observable.
Earthquake-resistant structures are built to withstand the impact of earthquake. However, no structure is entirely immune to the damages of an earthquake. It is important to spread awareness and follow safety tips to mitigate the impact of an earthquake. Reporting from Delhi with camera person Manoj, I'm Kriti Mishra for Rajya Sabha Television.
Well, here's a roundup of some other news from across the country in Nationwide. BJP President Amit Shah will be in Uttarakhand for 2 days as part of his 110-day nationwide tour to take stock of organizational work. He is scheduled to hold meetings with MPs and MLAs from the state, party's office bearers, Morcha presidents and general secretaries. The centre filed a report on September 15th in the Supreme Court on the investigation being carried out on the conspiracy aspect of making of the bomb that killed former Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi 26 years ago. The report was filed before a bench of Justices Ranjan Gogoi and Naveen Sinha, which fixed the matter for hearing today. Rajiv Gandhi was assassinated on the 21st of May 1991 at Sriperumbudur in Tamil Nadu. Former Gujarat Chief Minister Shankar Singh Waghela, who recently quit the Congress, today joined Jan Vikalp, a party formed by his supporters in the poll-bound state. However, extending his support to the Jan Vikalp, Waghela called it just a front and not a political party. Well, moving on to some international news now. Amid growing international condemnation, Myanmar State Councillor Aung San Suu Kyi made her first comments on the Rohingya crisis on Tuesday. She said that the violence in the Rakhine state has ended and the country was ready to take back refugees subject to a verification process. She also reached out to the global community for support on the refugee crisis, urging them to help her nation unite across religious and ethnic lines.
In a State of the Union address on Tuesday, Myanmar State Councillor Aung San Suu Kyi defended her government over the mass exodus of Rohingya Muslims. She claimed that violence has ended in Rakhine City and that most Muslims living in the area continue to stay there. While expressing sorrow for people displaced by the violence, Suu Kyi said Myanmar was committed to a sustainable solution.
We feel deeply for the suffering of all the people who have been caught up in the conflict. Those who have had to flee their homes are many, not just Muslims and Rakhines, but also small minority groups such as the Dainak, Maro, Sept, Maramaji and Hindus, of whose presence most of the world is totally unaware. Since the 5th of September, there have been no armed clashes and there have been no clearance operations.
Suu Kyi also condemned the human rights violations and the violence. She, however, maintained that the government does not fear international scrutiny of its handling of the Rohingya crisis.
We condemn all human rights violations and unlawful violence. We are committed to the restoration of peace, stability, and rule of law throughout the state. As a responsible member of the community of nations, Myanmar does not fear international scrutiny, and are committed to a sustainable solution that would lead to peace, stability and development for all communities within that state.
Suu Kyi received overwhelming support where hundreds of people gathered outside the city hall in Yangon expressing support to her.
ခွဲခြားမှုဖြစ်ပေါ်နေတဲ့လက်ရှိခန်းစားချက်တွေအရှိတရားတွေအမှန်တရားတွေအားလုံးကိုကမ္ဘာသိအောင်ဒေါ်အောင်ဆန်းစုကြည်ကအခုဒီယနေ့မှာအင်္ဂလိပ်လိုမိန့်ခွန်းပြောကြားခြင်းဖြစ်ပါတယ်။အဲ့အပေါ်မှာကျမတို့ပြည်သူလူထုအားလုံးဟာဒီအင်္ဂလိပ်လိုမိန့်ခွန်းပြောကြားတဲ့အပေါ်မှာနားလည်ခြင်းနားမလည်ခြင်းတဲ့ကျမတို့ရဲ့ခေါင်းဆောင်နဲ့တသားတဲ့သူ့ရဲ့ဖြည့်ရှင်းမှုသူ့ရဲ့ဆောင်ရွက်မှုအားလုံးမှာတသားတဲ့ရှိတယ်ဆိုတာလာရောက်ဝန်းရံကြခြင်းဖြစ်ပါတယ်ရှင်။ကျွန်တော်တို့သိတာတစ်ခုပဲရှိပါတယ်။ကျွန်တော်တို့ကတာမန်ပြည်သူတွေပါတာမန်ပြည်သူတွေကအေးချမ်းချင်ပါတယ်ကိုတိုင်းပြည်မှာလည်းဗုဒ္ဓဘာသာအများစုနေတဲ့အတိုင်းဖြစ်ပါတယ်အဲ့အတွက်ကြောင့်ကျွန်တော်တို့အားလုံးကလည်းလူမျိုးဘာသာမခွဲဆိုတာကိုနိုင်ငံလာကြည့်ပါ
India also welcomed Suu Kyi's pledge to restore peace in the Rakhine state and take back its people.
I think what we heard in the remarks of the State Councillor today was encouraging from that perspective. She has spoken about a process by which Myanmar will be ready to take back the refugees who have gone across the border, and then further steps will be taken in accordance with the laws here in terms of the national verification, etc., and the other processes and other issues that are there in the state, which are of much longer standing and which Myanmar needs to resolve in the context of its larger process of building peace and national reconciliation.
International groups, though, criticized Suu Kyi's speech for failing to address the allegations of abuse by the military. Amnesty International said the Nobel laureate and her government were burying their heads in sand. UN investigators also said they needed unfettered access to Myanmar to investigate the crisis. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, already devastated by Hurricane Irma, the Caribbean islands were hit by another Category 5 storm, Maria, today. The storm devastated the small island nation of Dominica, inhabited by over 70,000 residents. It is now rapidly moving towards neighboring Puerto Rico.
Category 5 Hurricane Maria, the second to hit the Caribbean in less than a month, ripped through the mountainous island nation of Dominica on Monday night. Maria battered Dominica with maximum sustained winds of 249 kilometers per hour, causing widespread devastation. In a series of Facebook posts, the Prime Minister of Dominica, Roosevelt Sept, said the island has lost everything and that the government will begin focusing on relief and rescue operations. Sept captured the storm's fury on Facebook, informing that the roof of his house was blown away and it was submerged in water. Schools and colleges remained shut on the island and the government urged people to move out of dangerous areas to the nearest shelters. Maria also crashed into the French island of Guadeloupe, where officials have warned of extremely heavy flooding in the coming days.
En termes de pluie, on entend le vent qui souffle là, donc la pluie, on estime que la moitié de la pluie est tombée actuellement, puisqu'on a enregistré 200 mm vers 2 h du matin, et on attend toujours à certains endroits 400 mm de pluie. Donc nous allons avoir...
As forecasters warn of Maria gaining in strength, emergency was declared in neighboring Puerto Rico as well. Maria is headed towards a possible direct strike on Puerto Rico on Wednesday morning, making it the first Category 4 or greater hurricane to hit the U.S. territory in 85 years.
Mira, ahora mismo no estamos preparados para este huracán que viene porque ya hace como 2 semanas había ya pasado un evento.
El evento pasado, pues, aunque no sufrimos grandes estragos, pero para el área sí los hubo. Hay personas que aún todavía no tienen energía eléctrica.
Vimos el destrozo de esa isla, que como las dejaron, y tenemos que prepararnos porque ya lo que viene es serio, ¿verdad?
According to experts, Maria's catastrophic winds could leave some parts of Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands uninhabitable for months. Forecasters have warned Maria to be even more destructive than Hurricane Irma, which killed at least 70 people across the Caribbean and the southeastern United States beginning in late August. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, here's a roundup now of some other international news and global buzz. The US resumed processing H-1B work visas in all categories subject to a Congress-mandated limit. This is 5 months after the work was suspended to handle the huge rush of applications. As per sources, the US Citizenship and Immigration Services resumed premium processing yesterday for all H-1B visa petitions subject to the fiscal year 2018 cap. "500 residents were evacuated by local firefighters after heavy rain swelled rivers and threatened Changshu district of Chongqing municipality in southwest China, the worst hit area in a local neighborhood named Yunxi Lijing. According to sources, the storm toppled 64 houses, affected 3,059 people and caused a direct economic loss of $1.02 million. Well, ousted Pakistan Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif failed to appear before a court hearing corruption cases against him as he was in London to take care of his ailing wife. The court accepted the plea and adjourned the case till September 26th. It also ordered that fresh summons should be issued for the former First Family to appear on the next hearing. Well, let's now shift focus and bring you up to speed with some sports news in Sports Beat. The Japan Open Super Series tournament kicked off in Tokyo on Tuesday. Qualification matches are being played along with some mixed doubles opening round fixtures. PV Sindhu, who recently won the Korean Open, will be in the action on Wednesday. She will be up against Japan's Minatsu Mitani. Saina Nehwal and Kidambi Srikanth, who missed the Korea Open, will also return to action, while Saina will clash with Thailand's Pornpawi Chongchuong. Srikanth will meet China's Tian Howie. In cycling, Denmark's Mikkel Berg won the men's under-23 individual time trial at the UCI Road World Championships in Bergen on Monday. Berg was well ahead of the opposition on the 37.2-kilometer time trial, which comprised 2 loops around the Norwegian city. Berg finished 1 minute and 5.92 seconds ahead of his nearest rival, Brandon McNulty of the United States. Britain's Jonathan Rea continued his impressive form in the World Superbikes Championships, finishing first in testing in Portugal. Chaz Davies finished second after a tough weekend. After finishing the race, Jonathan said that he still has goals in his mind for 2017 and is keen to keep his mind on the next 3 races. Well, that's it on this newscast. Do stay tuned for the big picture on the other side of the short break.